Hi, everybody. Hello, we are Eurovision Fantasia once again, and we are here today with Ella from Norway. That she will be entering MGP 2023, and she will be competing on the next Saturday, 21st of January, second semi-final with some waste. So, how do you feel when you got chosen to enter, and what are your expectations for the contest, Ella? And thank you so much for taking your time to come to our interview.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited. I was invited actually. I never submitted like a lot of people do. So I was a bit shocked because I had never considered submitting anything before. So when the invitation came, I was like really happy. But I was invited to do an MGP songwriting camp first. So I mean, I was kind of like waiting to hear something. But of course, when the invitation came, I was really happy, especially because a lot of my friends are big fans of MGP, so they were freaking out.
Was there like any, did you ever like in the past want to enter MGP, or was it just like a new thing recently or you got invited and then so?
Yeah, it was more like that. It's not that I had anything, it was just something I hadn't considered at all. I watched it in 2021 because I had a very good friend participating, Rayanne, so I was like voting for her. And then last year I was in Brazil, so I didn't watch it at all. And then, I mean, when the invitation came, it was kind of like, why not? This could be such fun. And a bit also because I've never seen, I mean, first of all, there's never been a Brazilian woman or Brazilian person in general in GP. Second of all, I feel like I could do something that hasn't been done before. Outside of that, like my performance is pretty different of everything they've done and seen before. So,
So yeah, can you tell us a little more about your song? We know that it's called Waste, and what does it mean for you? What do you want to tell with this song?
and the song is about like kind of a girl power song, but not like it's about feminine energy, but the way a woman knows what she wants and how she wants it and when she wants it, when she's like craving that very specifically. And also when you're in the process of flirting with someone and you're like, in that process, you're trying to get to them, they're kind of like liking it too. So you're like in the middle of that. Um, and also about feeling yourself, being confident and just like being comfortable in your own body to dance and to just like, yeah, enjoy yourself. So mainly that. And then there's a lot of other things that are important to me that I wanted to cover with the song that will be that are covered through the production and that will come forward through the performance that I think you guys will get to see clearly.
Okay. Can you also tell us a bit more about the songwriting process? Obviously, you said you wanted to include certain things that like female empowerment in it. Like what inspires you to like write your music? Like who inspires you? And did you write the song? So obviously the song you got invited. Did you write the song for MGP or did you have the song beforehand or did you write it after the invitation? Like how did that all happen?
Um, first of all, my process of songwriting is usually like when there's a beat, I'll just brainstorm, and I just like write a whole sheet, and then I try to pick out stuff that work out for the beat, and like glue stuff together in a way, see what works, and I usually end up having the verses first. But specifically in Waste, I was at the songwriting camp, and I had good contact, a good connection with two guys from the UK actually instantly. A producer called Tim Goslin and a songwriter called Tristan Henry. We just got really well along from day one. We wanted to get to go to the studio together, but we weren't sure we were going to. And then after 2 days there, we noticed like obviously it's not gonna happen because they choose randomly who gets to go to the studio together. It didn't seem like it was gonna happen. And we were there from like 10 to 10, and then from 10 to 11, we would listen to the songs that were made during the day. So around 11, when we were done on Wednesday, we were like, we had only one more day. So we were like, okay, the studios are still open for an hour. We could go there and try and make a demo. And that's what we did. The guys didn't really want to submit the song because they felt like it was more like an Ella song. It wasn't an MGP song. And I was like, yeah, but we're still in an MGP camp. Like we should just submit it to Stig because he's here, the MGP boss. And see. And if he doesn't like it, we'll release it ourselves. And then when we submitted, it turned out it was the song. So that was very fun. I did the songwriting with Tristan, or more like, yeah, Tris. Like he's full of ideas, so he was like full of ideas instantly. And I it was more like throwing ball when he came up with an idea. I was like, yeah, but what if we did it a bit more like this? Or like he was looking for a word and I was like, yeah, maybe this works. But I came up with some stuff too. Obviously, the Portuguese part I wrote myself. And the Norwegian part, I asked a very good friend who's a Norwegian rapper called Baby Lucifer to write it because she just nails Norwegian rap. Even though I speak Norwegian very well, the whole Norwegian rap thing is a bit more complicated to make it sound. So she came in last. And yeah, that was it. And then my manager helped to co-produce the thing because he's very used to my music now, to getting Brazilian elements and stuff. So he ended up like spicing it up a bit.
Cool. That's cool.
So yeah, so we know that, as you say, like you are Brazilian. So you moved to Norway when you were 12, right? How would you say that being Brazilian and having Brazilian roots have influenced your sound and your music? Do you think like yeah?
No, what? Please finish what you were going to say.
Yeah, I was saying like, do you think like you can see and you can hear the Brazilian sound in your music and in all the songs that do you write?
Yeah, no, I love it. And the thing is, like, Brazil has a lot of genres, and I feel like a lot of people don't really know that. They feel like Brazil is resumed to like samba and bossa nova, and now funk is growing more and more because of Anita, and I love it. But like, people don't understand that you have a tons of genres like these, and then you have subgenres, like you have different types of samba and you have different types of funk, and depending on where you are in Brazil, the sound changes because the north of Brazil is very influenced by African roots because that's where most of the African people settled after the whole colonization was over. And then the south of Brazil has a lot of European influence, while the middle is more of like a mess, if you can say so. So I'm really proud of it, and I still have a lot of contact with all of my friends, all of my family, everybody. So yeah, I end up like, it's impossible. I listen to a lot of Brazilian music as well, so it's impossible.
So fun. I don't know where Aitor disappeared to, but it's fine. We'll keep going.
Yeah.
So you're obviously performing semi-final 2 on Saturday night in Oslo. What sort of performance can we expect from you on stage? Like, I was expecting like belly dancing for some reason because you're watching your waist. I'm expecting crop tops, low rise trousers. Like, what are we going to be seeing from you on stage?
It makes sense that you would expect that, though.
Sorry, someone called me.
Don't worry. Sorry. In a way, when I was, because the thing is, like, I was involved in everything. I choreographed some parts of it. I was involved in choosing the clothing. I was involved in choosing makeup. That's me. I always get my dancers' opinions because we're like, I think I'm also the only artist bringing her own dancers and her own choreographers. So like, we're very close. I make sure they agree with most of the stuff I'm saying. But yeah, choosing costume, I was also a part of that. So the lights, that was me too. I was very like, I wanted a very specific type of lighting throughout the whole thing because it's kind of a journey thing. So yeah, but definitely when I got the yes and the final demo, my head started to cook with ideas. So I was like texting my manager with like 40 texts and videos on YouTube and pictures and stuff. So it's like, okay, you should do a PowerPoint. And I did, 8 or 9 pages long. And on the first meeting with NRK, I just sat down and I was like, okay, hi guys, this is how it's going to be. This is the pre, this is first one, this is the intro. So it was like, I had a lot of ideas, but coming to what you said, that scene From Dusk Till Dawn where there is the woman like coming with the snake and like dancing, that was definitely an inspiration. But I went like, it's not that I went another way, but it's just like there's some vibes of it. You get it. It's the things like, I'm not telling anything because I really want you guys to be positively surprised. What you can expect though, and this I've told a lot of people with the lights, is that to me this song like takes you through this kind of a sensual journey. So you're starting when it's like it's getting hot, it's steamy, and then it's gonna get super hot, and then it comes down to when it gets wet, sort of, and that collides with the Brazilian break at the end, which is like blue-ish because Brazil has blue in its flag. So does Norway, and then like the wet thing and the end of the journey, kind of. So that is like the only thing I can tell besides from the challenge thing that is out on my TikTok and Twitter. Like everything else is pretty secret.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. So what can we expect apart from you, like apart from MGP for this year, for example? Like of course, if you win, you will go to Eurovision. But apart from that, can we expect any tour, new album, collaborations from you, new music?
You can definitely expect more because I have like I don't know, about 10 songs that are just ready to go, both in Portuguese, in Spanish, and in English that I've been dying to put out and I can finally put out now. I just signed with Universal in December, so they're also really excited. I was planning on doing an EP with some of these songs, but right now I don't know if we're gonna do a single first and then an EP. But the songs are definitely coming out. The one in Spanish, for example, I co-wrote with 2G and Adelan, so I'm really excited for that one to come. And you guys can expect like that's the thing, my song in MGP, it's still a song I would have released myself. It's not far away from Ella at all. It's just Ella on MGP, but it's still Ella. So I think people who enjoy this song and fall in love with this song are gonna like my previous work and probably what's coming as well. I hope so.
Of course. Also, obviously, MGP, very, very strong competition. You've got some big names up against you, like Elsie Bay and Sandra Ling. How do you feel about the competition? Because obviously, like, it's once again a very like tough competition.
Of course, it stresses me out a bit. The thing is, like, at first I didn't care that much. It's not that I didn't care, but I wasn't that stressed about going to the finals. Now it's starting to bother me a bit more. I really want to go to the finals. But at the same time, and I've been saying this since the start, and I know it sounds cliche, what I was most worried about is just doing something unique that hasn't been done before. And then that, in consequence, going to the final would be great. But I just want to make sure that what I do is, like, different from everything you've seen. And then we'll see.
Okay, cool.
And then yeah, have you dreamed about going to Eurovision? Like, have you seen already yourself in the biggest stage of Eurovision? And if you go there, would you change something from your staging, or will you stick to this like a different and new performance that you want to bring to MGP?
I think I will definitely stick to it because if I did get that far, it would have been because of it, so it wouldn't make sense to change anything. But it would have been really exciting. I can't tell you how I would react because I think that when I got the news on stage, I think I was just like, I'm so sorry, but I said that on the last interview like yesterday. I was like, I think I would just shit myself. There's nothing else to say. Because like I would be like, what just happened?
Fair enough. Yeah. Talking about Eurovision, do you watch Eurovision normally? Do you have any favorite songs from either I don't know, Norway, Spain, maybe, or other countries? Yeah, Portugal.
Best at watching it, I have to admit it. I did watch it sometimes. Like the year I moved to Norway was the year when Loreen won, and I watched it and I had that song on repeat for a long time. Other than that, I've not been the best at watching it. But last year when Eurovision was going on, I was in Brazil. And in Brazil, like it's not a big thing. But I got a text from my boyfriend's family and they were like, oh, there's finally someone in Eurovision doing something you could do. Like there's an Ella in Eurovision. And then I got a snap from like Chanel and I googled it really quick and I was like, yes,
of course, Queen of Spain. I'm from Spain, so
yes, yo puedo escuchar.
Of course.
Como tu país y yo amo a Chanel. Así que sí, it's my favorite song from the whole Eurovision thing, and I think she should have won it. Of course, like it's beautiful that Ukraine won, but to me, that woman took like Eurovision to a whole new level. She can take like the whole last Eurovision decade to herself and just be like, thank you, this is mine. You're welcome. Good luck from here.
Literally. She can win over and over, like every year, you know what I mean? Like she can win. She can go over it.
Story of the thing though is that one of the songwriters of Slow Mo co-wrote also my second single. Oh, that came out in May last year. So when I saw it, I was like, it makes sense that the song is good.
That's great.
Of course. Yeah. Amazing. Yeah, finish it. But yeah, before we go, I want to know like what are your favorite like influences, like singers from either like Brazil, like I don't know, Latin artists, because of course me being a Spanish, like I know a lot of Latin artists that I really like, so I would love to know who you like the most. Of course, Anita because from the country, but who else?
I that was obvious. Everybody when they ask me and I say it, it's like obvious. But no, like I'm a huge fan. Like I went over to Sweden last summer because it was her first time playing in Scandinavia on a big stage, and I was like, I'm gonna be front row. I do not care what happens. I need to be there. So I was there and it was amazing, and I'm a huge fan of her. I also really like the work of Luisa Sonza, who's another Brazilian singer, and she's just really good at getting like concepts and really good visuals, and that's something that I really care about, that there's a concept, that there's like a whole thought behind everything. Um, what else? Carol G, I really like her. I think that's the ones I listen to the most, really. Other than that, I listen to a lot of stuff, but not specific people, kind of. But my influences are like a mess because, like, I grew up singing opera. I wanted to be an opera singer since I was 2, and then I switched to pop when I was 17. So
Okay.
I opera, and then I listened to metal because of my mom, and I listened to a lot of traditional Brazilian music, and then Queen and the Beatles and the Doors. So I have a lot of influences depending on what it is, like stage presence. A lot of the Doors, Beyonce, Madonna, vocals more towards like Mariah Carey, Lana Del Rey. I really love those. And the music, there's a lot of different stuff. So it's like I have so many influences. It's insane. I'm very eclectic.
Amazing. Yeah. So yeah, we can wait to see your performance on Saturday. I'm sure it will be an amazing show. And if you have inspiration from Chanel, I'm sure it's gonna be amazing. Like this kind of show stopping. Like, yeah.
Literally.
There's a bit because it was like, I mean, like I said, she was the first one to do anything I would have done on Eurovision. So it's like, okay, this is definitely something that should be taken into consideration when we're creating this, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just hope you love it, really. We've been working really hard for 3 months. Everybody's dead. Jess, which is one of my dancers, is there sleeping because she's dead as well.
Of course.
Oh my God.
Dead.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I've been getting so much love from all over the world, and I'm just like overwhelmed in pure joy, and I'm just trying to reply everyone as much as I can. So I'm like a lot in my phone right now, but I just want to make sure everybody knows that it's not something I take for granted, not me nor my team, and we just like appreciate it extremely much regardless of finals, not finals. You know, when we get to the point, like when I got to this point of getting invited, I've been working with this for years. So like it's amazing to get so much love for my work. Oh, it's like, it's insane. The song's like, I got people texting me from China and Japan, and I was like, what is happening?
It's all the Euro fans. We're everywhere. Like everywhere you go, there is like a community of Euro fans, and we will listen to all the songs, and then and then there's that, and like everyone's going viral and stuff.
I'm really excited. The streaming is going very well, and I was at the radio today. It's being playlisted at the radio over here. Yeah, so I'm really excited, and I think it's like you're gonna have jaw drops in Norway for sure, in a good way and in a bad way, because I know the Karens will be very like,
Yeah.
that someone has to do it, and it's fine.
Mm-hmm. I mean, actually, I'm gonna be at the final on the 4th of February, so maybe I'll be seeing you there.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so.
Me too.
You do. Here,
I hope
please
so.
Together and just like, yeah, it would be amazing.
So much fun.
Jealous. I will be in Spain. I will go to Benidorm Fest, which is like the MGP from Spain, which is the final is the same day. It's the same day.
And I totally love Benidorm. It's like, oh, it's amazing. But have a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Definitely.
I hope you win Eurovision so you can come to the UK and Liverpool. Imagine, like,
please vote. Guys can and just like watch it and everything, because it's like I have to ask everyone to do it. I don't know if everybody knows that you can vote from wherever you are in the world.
I voted from abroad for the first semi-final actually, and it worked, so that was great.
Yeah, please do vote. It's like I'm taking all the votes I can get.
I mean, it's televised only, so you kind of have to at this point.
Yeah. Wait.
So yeah, thank you so much for your time, and good luck with rehearsals. You will slay it on Saturday, we are sure. We can wait to see your performance. And before we go, if you can say a small message to our fans of Eurovision Fantasia, that would be great.
Of course. And actually, one last thing, because you asked me if I had one last thing to say, and it's that all of my girl dancers are mixed race, which is amazing, but they're all Norwegian. So it's like that we're representing Norway in 2023 and the diversity of that, both like sexually and, you know, in the sense of like skin colors and everything, because it's not what you would expect when you look at like stereotypically Norwegian people. But it's gonna be really fun, and our one of our dancers was a choreography for Umami Tsunami, so that's gonna be really cool.
Kevin.
Kevin, yeah, Kevin is dancing with us.
Kevin's in your performance.
Yeah, Kevin's on our performance.
No way.
Yeah.
After Kyle
So
dance
cool.
break. Oh,
Yeah, he's dancing.
He's got good taste.
Yes, and
Yes.
he's like energetic. He's like, I've been calling him George because, you know, like in Discovery Kids, you have that drawing of George, like the monkey that just hangs from places. So I've nicknamed him George because he's so energetic and he's constantly hanging from random places. As a fans, yes, thank you so much for all the love. I really hope you're enjoying this time and you enjoy the show. Please take your time to vote and watch it on Saturday. Follow me everywhere. My name is Dia Ella of OFC everywhere, Ella A on Facebook, and just stay updated because there's way more to come. And just like, thank you for everything.